All right. What's going on, everybody? We are back for another of our sports mark and mock draft. Get it again. Here again on Jay with the Phils. So before we're going to do round three tonight, but we're going to do a quick recap. We have a recap video for you guys. Link in the description, it can be screen, whatever. But check out the first round of our mock. We have a couple of very interesting picks. For lack of, yeah, it's very interesting, guys. Very interesting. The draft's 15 days away. Let me look like an idiot. 15 days away. We get it. Everybody, click the like button, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that. And
Anchor.
Yeah, all that, everything. We're going to turn it over to Paul. Paul's our moderator for the first, second, and the third round. So Paul lead off the picks. Me and Jaquan will be making the picks tonight. We are without our other guys, Benji and Steve, but it's all right. So Paul, it's on you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Round number 2. Let's go. So in this round, we're going to have Joe go first, followed by Jay. And Joe, you're picking for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I am. And so just a quick recap of the Jags' first 2 picks. They got their franchise quarterback and Trevor Lawrence, obviously at pick 1. At their second pick of this first round, I was going to opt for offensive line, but I instead decided to give him his running mate, Travis Etienne, running back out of Clemson. So now I will give him some protection, and just the way the board fell, do some interesting picks. We still have some players up here that can change schemes. Daquan, don't hate me for the pick that I'm going to make, but there's somebody sitting on the top of my board, and I have to take him. So at pick 33 of the second round, the Jacksonville Jaguars are taking Creed Humphrey, center out of Oklahoma. We are taking him, and I'm going to count my days because Jaquan's going to murder me.
All right, so we're gonna show the screen here. So you got Creed Humphrey, right?
Yeah,
Going to the Jags.
Creed Humphrey to the Jags. There it is. Jay, you're next for the New York Jets. Let's go, buddy. Get us a good pick.
We all knew that to recap, first off, I gave the Jets Zach Wilson because that's who the pundits and a large majority of the fan base seem to want. With the second pick, surprisingly, to me, the top corner in the draft actually dropped in Caleb Farley. So we got his medical is checked out, so he should be good to go, honestly. So we get hopefully our cornerback one of the future in Caleb Farley. But you know what? The one thing we learned this past year is that, especially in the Super Bowl, you can't win without a lot. So I'm going to double down on the interior offensive line picks. Ooh. And I'm going to go with Wyatt Davis out of Ohio State to the New York Jets.
Ooh.
Yes,
that's a very good pick. Very good pick. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Give the new quarterbacks some protection there.
Exactly. Wow. And you can't just wait. Sometimes, like, there are some positions where you can wait for and still get a quality guy, but I feel like, especially what we've learned is, you have to get the high quality talent in order to really protect your quarterback. And I feel like Wyatt Davis is one of those guys that played at a very good school against very good talent and is a plug and play at either the left or the right side. And both sides, the Jets need help in the worst way. So I feel like you plug and play Wyatt Davis and especially with the zone blocking scheme, he's ready to go. You can probably put him next to Mekhi if Cameron Clark isn't ready. If he is ready, then you can put him at the right side and help solidify the right side next to George Fant, who hasn't played terribly, by the way.
So that's So I took Creed Humphrey. So you're gonna take Wyatt Davis.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we're
okay.
doing.
So
That's
next is
exactly what this is going.
That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. It's,
so
okay.
next is the
Yep.
Falcons. The
We're gonna
Falcons
be childish and
Yeah,
petty.
at
no.
35, and
I'm
just to recap,
petty.
to
I'm
recap
petty.
in the first round,
petty.
the Falcons took Penny Sewell.
Of course, yes, yes, we did.
So Joe, who do you have the Falcons taking at number
All right.
35?
Well, I mean, obviously, if it was up to us, or if I was drafting there at 4, I would have taken Justin Fields because of the way the board's shaking out. Jalen Mayfield is sitting here on the board, and that would have been a very solid pick. That you could also go offensive line for them. If you really want to go there, but the one thing I think the Falcons really have them lacking and slacking has been the defense for a number of years, particularly their edge rushers and their outside backers, all that stuff. So, and he's sitting on the top of my board right now. I see it's a little different because you guys have you have Jamin Davis up there, but mine's not quite updated, so I have it a little lower. But I'm gonna go the second guy on that board. I want to go Joseph Osai, the edge from Texas. I'm gonna give him to the Falcons
Solid pick.
and hopefully help that pass rushing that they've been desperately missing for a long time now.
Solid pick.
Very good pick. Very good pick.
Thank you.
All right, now we got Jay picking for AFC East rivals, the Miami Dolphins.
Y'all must really hate me. Yeah, something hates me. Well, I know with the first pick, I got them Devonta Smith.
Yeah, so they got the wide receiver that they needed. They need a tackle, a running back, a center, or a cornerback. From what PFN says. PFN says that their needs are wide receiver, offensive tackle, running back, center, or cornerback.
Well, there's an obvious guy for me that's sitting right there, especially if they need corner help. I'm going to go with Umfatu Malafantu, cornerback from Syracuse.
Okay. Corner from Cuse.
What you say about my mama?
I got it the best I could. I feel like that's the closest I'm going to get to that one.
I'm not going to touch it, so you got it.
Melifonwu. That's what I'm going with. I don't
know. I dig it. That's a good pick. I mean, hey, they need some secondary help. I like it. All right.
Joe, you picking for your NFC East rivals, the Eagles.
Yeah. Hurts, don't it? Hurts, don't it? It hurts, don't it?
They need a quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback, linebacker, and tight end. What did they get in the first round again? They got a
Hook me up, Paul.
What did they get in the first round?
Where we go?
They got the cornerback already, so they need a quarterback.
They got J.C. Horn.
They got J.C. Horn.
They got J.C. Horn. What are my needs?
Quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker.
It's not a quarterback. They need to stop lying.
Quarterback, we're not going. But I got the pick already in mind. So
in Hurts, they trust.
Jalen Hurts is your franchise quarterback. The line needs some help. Yes, but I think Jalen Hurts shows he can move the pocket, so it's a little bit of burden off the line. But what he does need is playmakers. Zach Ertz doesn't want to be there. Jalen Reagor hasn't really done as much as they thought he was going to do his first year. They have Travis Fulgham, but he's been inconsistent. So I want to give him a piece if they can move around. They can put him in the backfield. They can put him out, outside. They can put him in the slot. I want to give them Kadarius Toney, receiver, out of.
Okay. That's what I thought you were gonna go with this one. When you started talking, I'm like, what are we doing here?
I gotta explain everything I do.
What did the Bengals get in the first round? Oh, they got Jamar Chase. Okay,
they got Jamar Chase.
Oh,
so yeah, there's a couple of guys actually on the board for the Bengals.
Yeah, they need a tackle, a guard, a tight end, and a defensive tackle.
I mean, a lot of those guys make sense, but there's one guy that would have been a top pick last year had he come out. And I think he played relatively well this year, I believe, anyway. And he's actually he's ranked higher in this situation. This one's tough, and I think that they can definitely move him around. And with their return, and you got to realize too, the Bengals have a lot of guys coming back, and a lot of guys were hurt last year for Joe Burrow. They got a couple of guys coming back, so I'm gonna use this guy to definitely complement. Yeah, and then he got hurt. Well, I'm gonna use this guy to help complement that right tackle, the tackle they took a couple of years ago, whose name escapes me at the moment, and I'm gonna take Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama.
Ooh, no Jalen Mayfield. Okay. Alex Leatherwood. All right. I like the pick. All right. Now I'm back up with the Panthers, huh?
With the Panthers. The Panthers need a quarterback. I don't know why. They just so this needs to be updated because they got Sam Darnold, so they don't need a quarterback. So it's a cornerback, tackle, safety, linebacker. In the first round, they got Jalen Waddle at wide receiver.
Come on now.
All right. Well,
come on, man. I know you don't want to do it, but it's obvious.
Like Jalen Mayfield sitting right there.
He is. He definitely is.
Again, let me pull something out of Steve's note. I don't want to take a shot at the Jets, but Sam needs protection. I gotta protect Sam. They traded for him. Like it just, I don't want to be Jets Part 2. So I'm gonna give him Jalen Mayfield.
Okay.
He can play tackle. He can play guard. I'll take him off. He can, I'll give Sam some protection that he desperately needs. Jalen Mayfield's the pick for me. I thought about David. I thought about Freiermuth. I thought about it, but
I was definitely more looking at Davis with that pick. But your logic the logic is sound, man. I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it at all.
David Davis?
Yeah. Like he's staring you right in the face.
I also
he is falling. He is falling in this mock draft.
He'll be off the board in a bit.
Well, the Broncos are next, and let's remember they just picked up the option for Von Miller's off season. So
they definitely did.
Yeah. So their team needs are what are they? A linebacker, edge, quarterback, running back, safety. What did they get in the first round? They got Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn Slater. So they got some help along the line. Here's the thing with them though. It's like, Collins and Davis it's two different flavors for me. Because Collins is a lot more raw, but he can also double as an edge. Davis is more of that cover speed guy that can go all across the field. You can move him around. He can chase guys. He's more so the linebacker that you see, more teams leaning towards. So I'm gonna give them Jamin Davis.
I was gonna ask you. So pretty much they're drafting Von Miller's replacement.
I mean, it would
most
make
likely.
sense, but I mean, especially with the way the relationship has kind of soured, it just kind of makes sense to kind of get a guy here that you can develop and you could. I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to be Von Miller by any means, but you can get a guy that can give you production.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and he can give you more of a cover linebacker versus somebody who can get after the quarterback, which now, you kind of need that, and you can focus more on getting an edge to help, get that production later on in the draft.
Because like you're saying, like the relationship between Von Miller and Denver Broncos has soured. So I doubt he's coming back. The only reason he's coming back is because they picked the team option.
Yeah.
So at this point, they're drafting his replacement, his heir apparent.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the same style, but he's taking over. Yeah, right. Jermaine Davis from Kentucky. All right, Joe, you got the Lions. They took Kyle Pitts in the first round, and their needs are
they need everything:
linebacker, quarterback, cornerback, safety. I don't know why they have a quarterback there for. They got Jared Goff.
I mean,
they got to figure if that works.
They got to figure out how far Jared Goff is going to take them at this point.
All right. Honestly, I'm not even going to overthink this. Zayvon Collins is sitting on the board. The kid can do it. The kid can rush the passer. He's a sure tackler. He can play in space. He can play a little bit of coverage. I'm just gonna not even overthink it. I'm good. They need a linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm good with Zayvon Collins. Go on BPA. Get my
Mhm.
defense. There you
So,
go.
just to let you guys know, there was a deal struck here when we were trying to figure out how we were going to set this draft up. The deal was I'm not trying to have Joe screw up my team, and he doesn't want me to be vengeful and spiteful and try to screw up his team. So Joe will be making this pick as well.
Just because I'm a Giants fan, clearly.
Just because he's a Giants fan, and, you know, he definitely probably does understand the landscape of that team far more than I do, or far more than I care to. I think it's the better assessment.
And then in the first round, the Giants drafted Mekhi Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Their needs are edge, center, guard, wide receiver.
I already know where he's going. he's going to double down on his favorite schools. I can't even get mad at it.
Which kid from Penn State you drafted?
Really? Now, see, this is what's interesting though, because you definitely can go in a different direction here. So I'm curious to see where you're gonna go.
Okay, well, see, this is my thing. Yes, the Giants.
He's drafting a linebacker from Ohio State.
No, I'm not. So we got Michael Parsons first round. I would have liked to have picked Wyatt Davis, but he's not there. The only other person I really was considering is possibly Trey Smith. Landon Dickerson's a possibility. Josh Myers is a little more down the board. Looking at receivers, but the receivers are so deep. I could also probably find a receiver in the third round, possibly even the fourth round, depending on what I weigh.
Okay, so you got Elijah Moore and Rondale Moore. Isn't Rondale Moore the fastest one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of them are actually pretty fast. Actually,
but Moore,
they're similar in size.
But I think Moore is the more precise on his cuts, right? More precision cuts.
You got to elaborate on which Moore you're talking about.
Sorry, I forgot. Elijah Moore.
Elijah, I think, is more of the atypical receiver, while Rondale is more of your Tyreek Hill kind of do-it-all receiver, like freaky athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see a bit of that in both of them. It's very hard.
Oh no, they both have very similar characteristics. It's just like you said, one is a little more technical in their route running versus the other, which is like, I guess if you're gonna put them against each other.
And with the 42nd pick, the New York Giants select Jose Borgales, kicker from Miami.
No, so seeing as the receiver class is this deep, that I could possibly, again, if I can weigh the guard versus receivers, I'm gonna pass on receivers this round, and I'm actually going to take the edge, Jalen Phillips.
Really? I knew it. Like I said, it was between Jason Ozui or Jalen Phillips. Like I knew it was there.
It was an edge.
It was an edge. I knew it was an edge.
I can't pass on Jalen Phillips there.
I know, and I mean, if the medicals check out, like the upside to getting him in the second round is monstrous.
Yeah.
Wait, what's his medical again?
He had a number of concussions that forced him to medically retire when he played for UCLA, but that he's come back the last 2 years.
That was him
at Miami, and I mean, he's a freaky athlete. Like he's twitchy, he has bends, his hand placement, heavy hands. Like it's just he doesn't have a lot of flaws as an edge rusher.
Is this the fact that you're taking a chance that his next concussion could be it?
Yeah, that's really what it turns into. Like if his next, like if he's fine medically, then you're getting crazy value here. If he's not, you just burned a second round pick. So I mean, it's 100% pick your poison.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this lit.
Only thing I was looking at with Jason O is he's just very raw, and he's going to take a couple of years for him to ship up, to to shape up. I mean, where I get Phillips, who's a much more dynamic and just more. I just feel like he's gonna contribute more, like off rip immediately.
And
Always
you guys defense isn't that far away. Like
no,
that's the biggest
not
thing.
at
The
all.
defense isn't that far away. So it's a situation where like if you invest in a Jalen Phillips and he hits,
Mm-hmm.
that's a freaky defense. Like
Yeah.
if your offense is literally just serviceable, you have a chance to hit a wild card. I mean, you guys had a chance last year, but like you guys probably would get over 500 and definitely beat out Washington.
Yeah.
With the Jalen Phillips in that defense.
And Parsons next to Blake Martinez.
Yep. Like, yeah, you guys are definitely it serves you very, very well to get a guy like that, especially with a conference that now has Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback.
Oh yeah. All right, we're on 43 and it's Jay's turn.
The 49ers, and they picked up Trey Smith, I believe.
Trey Lance. I'm bugging.
See, the 49ers are tough because they just didn't have a lot of their horses last year. Like that's really just what it was for those guys. Like their offense is gonna get back to what it is. Whether Jimmy Garoppolo, does what he does, it's yet to be seen. But they lost their defensive coordinator and they lost their quarterbacks coach. So I mean, I think the 49ers' biggest thing is that they lost. They didn't lose a lot of pieces because they re-signed most of their pieces, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did.
They just lost a lot of the coaching. So I mean, that's why this pick here is tough. So what did they say that they are the team needs?
Their team needs are quarterback, cornerback, edge, center, and tackle, defensive tackle. They already picked up their quarterback in Trey Lance in the first round.
So it's corner,
edge, center, and defensive tackle. So you could go with Jason Oua. You can go with Levi Onwuzurike.
I got you.
Thank you. Sorry. Apologize if I mispronounce that last name. Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky. Centers. Who's have the centers? I'd have to look
this one is.
But you have to go tough. Deep, I think, for centers.
I mean, according to this ranking, yes, but in terms of overall player, it's not that far of a drop off for me. It's just a matter of where the talent is.
Landon Dickerson.
For me. So I'm gonna go with. God, this is tough because they're really good guys at multiple positions, and again, it's hard to look at the roster and say, hey, they need X, Y, and Z because most of their roster was hurt last year. So you really don't know, like, and then the year before that, they were in the Super Bowl. So, like, can you really say, like, what they need, what they don't need? But I do know they did lose a couple of guys on the defensive line. So I'm going to give them Levi Onwuzurike just to fortify that defensive line and get them back to, attacking the quarterback the way they know how to. And I know they just went defensive tackle last season, but with that 4-man front, like the more talent you have there, the better off you are.
All right, that's not a bad pick for them. I mean, you strengthen that line as it is. And
I just know I know a lot of 49ers fans are probably going to come at me for not.
Well, here's
I know, like I know.
But here's the thing, though. They're playing out there in that conference, and you got Seattle. You're playing twice a year at least. Who else are playing? You're playing the Rams and the Cardinals.
So you're gonna need guys to get to the quarterback.
You need guys to get the quarterback because the 3 quarterbacks are there. They're mobile.
Yeah.
I don't care how old Russell Wilson is. I don't care how old Matt Stafford is. They still run, and we know Kyler Murray's got wheels. So if you can put some more bodies on that line that can move around or push that line around, more power to you. So now we got Joe Pickett for another NFC East rival, the Cowboys. Well, like how Joe likes to call them, the Cowgirls. So they need a quarterback.
They don't need a corner.
Defensive tackle, offensive tackle. Yeah, I was gonna say they got a cornerback in the first round with
Patrick Surtain. I know because I made the
second.
I know because I made the pick.
So they need a safety, D tackle, or offensive tackle.
Well, I'm going to go a bit off script here because I'm going to actually say part of their needs I'm going to go off script because and it's really, really going to pain me. But Cowboys, oh gosh, this one hurt. So the Cowboys need two things. Well, two odd things, I should say. Like you said, they have secondary issues, but they've been looking for somebody across from DeMarcus Lawrence for a while. So I'm swaying towards Jason Owe, but at the same time, them losing their tight end was very big for that offense last year. Like, I understand that they had the receivers, they had the three-headed monster, that whatever, but that tight end position is so big for Dallas. It's been big for Dallas when we're in there. And like Dalton Schultz is there, but he's not. I can see him more as a blocker. He can catch a little bit, but he's not the athlete that Pat Fryermuth is. So as much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to give the Cowboys Pat Fryermuth, tight end out of Penn State.
That is a great pickup
because
he's definitely because he can do it all. He can. Yeah. He's basically like he's not your what's his face? Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts is just it's freaky. It's freaky how talented he is. Fryermuth is more so your stereotypical run-of-the-mill tight end who's just really good all around.
Listen, the kid to me has the potential to be another Kelsey. So I mean, like, what can I the Cowboys love that. They love have that tight end position. They love Pitts. Everybody knows they're infatuated with Pitts, but he's not going to make it to 10, in my opinion. So you can't get Pitts when I get the second best tight end in the draft. So
yeah,
and I apologize for but that will hurt.
All right, Jay. With the next pick, you got the Jags on the board waiting for you.
And the Jags have taken Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and Creed Humphreys.
Yes, the Clemson line, the Clemson dynamic duo.
Let me see. Their needs are. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's mostly everything, but
so their needs
safety,
are
a tight end, a running back, which
they need a safety, tight end, and defensive tackle because you got the quarterback and the running back ready for them.
And see, the problem that I'm having is that there's a guy here, and I'm just gonna go with BPA in terms of like positional need. And I'm gonna give them Richie Grant out of UCF, the safety.
Okay, good pick.
I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna fill a need because again, they need talent as much as anybody else. So
I like it.
All right. Joe, you got the Patriots.
All right.
Get a kicker for them. So they need a running back, cornerback, wide receiver, quarterback, linebacker. But in the first round, ladies and gentlemen, in the first round with number 15 pick, Justin Fields fell down to the Patriots.
So what do the Patriots need?
They need a running back, quarterback, wide receiver, and linebacker because they already got their quarterback in the first round at 15 without having to move around.
All right. Well, I mean, this really comes down. I'm staring at two names. One's a linebacker, one's a corner.
Yep. Really?
I mean, I feel like either way, either player here will help fulfill a need. Got Fields on offense. What do I feel the Patriots need? Honestly, I'm gonna go Baron Browning. I'm gonna back out Ohio State Baron Browning. That's where I'm gonna go. I was thinking Asante Samuel. I was thinking Asante, but I'm gonna give him Browning. You know, linebacker. The linebacker core, from what I remember, is a little older, and I think they can use an injection some talent in there. Browning's a junior. I think he's a good pickup. He can play outside back. He can play inside backer. He can cover. He's a solid pick.
So Baron Browning from Ohio State to the Pats. That's a good pick. I think Bill will like that pick.
Yeah, I think he's a very versatile linebacker.
He is.
I was honestly staring dead at Javonte Williams. I'm like, bro,
I feel that.
You give them Justin Fields and Javonte Williams in that offense. Good Lord. I understand the Browning pick.
I was actually wondering about Kelvin Joseph, give him a cornerback over there, because you have to remember now too, because you have Stephon Diggs they have to play, and because in the first round they got who did they get in the first round? Was it not Jamar Chase? It was Devontae Smith. You got those two they got to contend with, and whoever else the Jets are going to have a wide receiver that's going to be a nice number two. Because we can never have a number one receiver. I don't know why.
You don't believe in Corey Davis?
Since Keyshawn Johnson.
You don't believe in Corey Davis?
Corey Davis.
He's got to show me, man. He has to show me.
I understand. I get it. I get it.
Because how many times have we signed players that were number one receivers in the team, and they came over here and just it didn't work out? You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
So, yeah. So that's all I was wondering. Like, why didn't you go with the cornerback with these receivers already sitting there on Miami and Buffalo?
Yeah, other corners to get.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so we got the Chargers now next. And the Chargers, their needs are tackle, cornerback, guard, tight end, and wide receiver. And in the first round, they got
Azeez Ojulari,
the edge.
Oh,
that was my reach pick.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just help fortify that defense. This one is tough. This one is tough because I know they just traded that older guard to the Panthers.
I know where I will go.
I feel like you can go a couple of places here. This one is tough, honestly.
I know exactly where I go.
Like I said, I feel like it's a lose-lose for me, honestly. It's a lose-lose for me.
All right, so let's see.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm looking at. I could obviously go Kelvin Joseph. You know, cornerback, he's there.
Right.
You know, but the problem is with him is he doesn't show, like, even though he showed out well in his pro day, on tape, his speed just isn't there. And when you're in this division, like, you got to be able to cover guys. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I look at Javonte Williams and I'm like, yo, Austin Eckler got hurt last year. They were struggling to run the ball last year. They got a little bit with the guy they picked up from the Jets, but they were struggling to run the ball.
Okay, what about Trey Smith?
And that was going to be my next guy. But the problem with Trey Smith is the medical. He's had chronic medical issues. He had the blood clot issue. But again, this is kind of the Jalen Phillips situation where it's like, if it hits, he's a banger.
Potential all-pro guard.
Yeah, if he doesn't, But I think if I'm the Chargers, honestly, like you gotta protect your guy. Like they just got a new quarterback. You gotta protect your guy. So I'm gonna go with Trey Smith here.
I was gonna ask you about Eric Stokes.
Where I was going. I was staring Trey Smith dead in the face. Like,
listen, I was being selfish in my mind because I'm like, God, I want him to drop somehow. I want him to drop so bad. Like, I hate the fact that the Jets only have 1 second. Even though I personally think that Joe Douglas is going to try to trade back into a second.
Dude, I was staring at him the entire time. There's nobody else I was even looking at. Like, I was like, dude, there's no, like, especially since they let go of Forrest Lamp. I was like, they got to fill that void.
Yeah.
And Trey Turner, too. Both their guard spots were open.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's no way.
So remember, this team needs as of March 26th, so it's not going to reflect a couple of like the Sam Darnold trade.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next we got the Raiders. Their needs are safety, cornerback, offensive tackle, linebacker, wide receiver, and the first round they got a guard in Elijah Vera Tucker.
All right. Honestly, I'm not even gonna like waste time here. I'm just gonna give him Eric Stokes. They need a corner. I'm gonna give him a corner. And because it's the Raiders, you know, they love fast people. Eric Stokes ran like only ran like a 4.3. So like I'm not even gonna waste time. The kid ran he ran like a blazing 40. Give him a fast corner. That's what they love. So that's it.
Okay, now Jay, you got the Cardinals who need a cornerback, wide receiver, running back, offensive tackle, and tight end. First round, they got Christian Barmore from defensive tackle from Alabama.
It's probably going to surprise some people, but I'm gonna give them Asante Samuels Jr.
Okay,
they need a corner. He's dirty. Like he's dirty. I love it. He's a feisty corner, and I think they just lost Patrick Peterson, so they need a little grit back there. Mm-hmm. They need some toughness. They need some grit. They need some attitude. And homeboy's a dog,
right? And they can wait till later rounds to get a receiver because the receiver depth is here. So it's like you don't have to go crazy.
And honestly, their receivers they don't really need a receiver. It would just be nice to have another one.
Right.
Like of all teams, they really don't need a receiver.
Well, they might, because the thing is, Fitzgerald hasn't said yet if he's coming back or not.
Okay, and they just picked up AJ Green. They already have Hop. They still have Christian Kirk. Like they're good, bro.
Andy Isabella, they're
Andy Isabella. Like they're good.
I know, but you can't count on AJ Green too much. He has been having health issues for the last few years.
Stop. Stop trying to justify this. They're good.
No, I'm not trying to justify. I'm just saying you can't count on AJ Green to be your number one receiver no more, and you can't count on him to play a full season.
A guy that's gonna ride the bench as like the 4th and 5th receiver in the second round.
Oh no, I'm saying, I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, everybody's like, oh, the receivers, they need receivers. Like they need a receiver, but they don't need to get one right now because the depth is so high right now. So it's so low, it's so high right now in the receivers, but they need to get one soon. You know, you can't hold out too long if you're Cardinals.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just telling you, AJ Green's not playing all 16 games. We know that.
You don't need him to play. Like, bro, he's not even. And that's the thing. It's not like he's going to the Bengals where he has to be the guy. He's a guy. Like this is just to build around Hopkins. So you know who the guy is. You know who he is.
Yeah. But like you still need somebody else.
You
can't.
At this point,
that was the problem with
AJ Green in the slot and just be like, yo, just kill under, like just kill.
Yeah,
and the thing is, kill the linebackers.
You have D-Hop in there, so you need to have solid receivers around him, so that way you're not forcing the ball to him all the time.
Even though you know they're going to force the ball to him all the time.
Yes, but you don't need to force the ball to him.
So I'm not understanding the logic here. I'm not understanding.
Let's continue. All right, we got Miami next. Miami they got their receiver already. What was their previous pick already?
It was Kwity Paye and Devontae Smith and Infatu Malifontu.
Yeah,
Malifonwu.
So they got a receiver. They got an edge.
And they got
a corner. And their need says receiver, tackle, running back, center, corner. So they got the receiver, they got the corner, and they got an edge that they didn't need really, but whatever. It's there. So
you said what? Running back and what else?
tackle, running back, and center.
Tackle, running back, and center.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tackle, running back, and center. You know what? The Pouncey brother just retired. Landon Dickerson is staring me in the face.
For Miami?
Well, plug and play center. Landon Dickerson.
Reunites with Tua.
Yeah. There you go. He gets too thinner, man.
We lost Creed Humphrey. We lost Dickerson. The hell?
They needed a center. They lost Pouncey Bros, man.
No, I get it. I don't knock.
It's the Dolphins, man. You give him a damn kicker.
I understand it.
Like
I said, I fully believe Miami's gonna clean up in this draft and really, really make a push for that number 2 spot. Maybe even fight for the number 1, depending on the development of some of their players. Because I think they have enough talent to definitely compete with the Bills.
Dude, with Landon, could he pay Melvin Fonwu and Devonta Smith? It's only the second round. These guys are racking up.
Like it's crazy, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, Paul, where are we at?
We are at 51 with the team from Washington.
And I believe they took Mr. Jones in the first round.
Mr. Mac Jones.
Mr. Jones.
Mac Jones, baby.
Well, that they actually did some serious work in the offseason, which kudos to them, because I think they signed Curtis Samuel. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't remember what else. I just remember the Curtis Samuel thing more than anything else. I know that they do have what do they need? This one is annoyingly tough.
They need a linebacker, safety, and offensive tackle, and a wide receiver. Remember, though, this is the Washington team, so it can't be too
intelligent.
Too common sense.
That's terrible. Where are you going, man?
Washington fans gonna be upset. What y'all talking about? I'm like, hey, man, just look at the draft picks last few years.
It is what it is.
I don't know what to tell you. Talk to your front office.
There's a guy that's there, that I'm kind of looking at. One of the better coverage backers. But I'm also thinking like they really do need to protect Mac Jones, and they need to give that man some time to get to those weapons and all of that jazz.
Are you thinking about the guard, the tackle from Notre Dame?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
So you're leaving Jabril Cox, a linebacker.
Those are the two guys I'm trying to decide in between. That's why I said. But I'm not even gonna overthink the pick too much. I'm gonna give him Jabril Cox out of LSU. They need a guy that can cover tight ends, that can cover in the seam, just help fortify that defense and let that all pro front four just go to work. Just let them boys go to work and rack up the sacks, because that front four is just disrespectfully good. So they just need those guys.
All right, Joe, you're next for the Bears. The Bears got what they got in the first round. The first round they got a tackle in Walker Little from Stanford. Their needs are quarterback, cornerback, tackle, wide receiver, and defensive tackle. So the tackle's already taken care of. So you're good there. You just gotta figure out the rest of them and keep reaching.
Said keep reaching. You guys. Did Joe disappear into the void?
I think so. No, I see movement. Da, 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 da. Joe?
Oh, my bad. I was muted.
Oh, you was muted.
I was sitting there talking to myself the entire time.
I'm like, I see his lips moving. What the hell? I'm like, Joe, your mic. Hello?
Yeah. So I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at a couple names. Actually, looking at two names.
Man, get that man Khalil some help. Stop playing with him, man.
This freaking man, like Eichenberg is just sitting on the board. Like, why couldn't we just have Eichenberg? Like, why? Oh my goodness. All right. So I understand that.
Javonte Williams still on the board.
Yes, I know they're still on the board. They have David Montgomery, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah.
No. I know. I'm just saying that Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams still on the board. I'm not saying for them. I'm just.
All right, he's still on the board. Jason Owell sounds very nice.
Kelvin Joseph.
Carl's Basham sounds very nice. But who's the quarterback throwing the ball to besides Allen Robinson? That's my question.
And that Mooney kid. Daryl Mooney, I think it is.
Come on now.
Nah, he was killing last season. Don't sleep. He was nice.
I mean, come on now. They have Allen Robinson. I believe Anthony Miller retired. I have one of the best receivers still on the board, still on my face. I'm giving him Elijah Moore. I'm giving him somebody. I'm giving him a playmaker. I'm giving somebody who can blow the game up.
I don't hate it, man. They need that speed. They need that speed.
They need something that besides their 9 tight ends now Robinson.
Yeah.
Like, they have their franchise left tackle on Walker Little, so they need somebody else to throw the ball to. Mooney, I'm not gonna count on that guy next season. I mean, he had a solid year, cool, great. Like, you could put Elijah Moore anywhere. You put him in the slot, put him outside, put him in the backfield. With him and Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery, as long as Matt Nagy doesn't screw up the play calling, they have a good solid piece now.
And I mean, they got Andy Dalton. He's not gonna screw it up.
Yeah, so he's like a good game manager, so I'm okay with that thing. All right. This is where I see Owen going.
Really?
Right here.
Really?
I mean, replacing Jadavian.
Right. We got them Rashad Bateman.
Right.
And their needs definitely are they definitely need an edge to replace Clowney or give you something.
They need a cornerback, wide receiver, tight end, safety, and offensive tackle. They got the wide receiver in Bateman already.
Mm-hmm.
As we said.
Yeah. See, I want to give them Oa. I really do.
Where are you going? Because I'm thinking something else too. So where are you going?
They need secondary help. Like they've been getting burned a lot. So I'm gonna give them Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky.
Ooh.
They need a corner.
I was looking at Aaron Robinson. Ooh, no, not Aaron Robinson fan.
I mean, I think you can go there, but I just at this point I went with who's ranked higher.
Oh, so
I respect it. I respect it.
On this board, he's not ranked.
Yeah, he's ranked.
No, on this board, Kelvin Joseph is ranked higher.
See, for me, it's not updated, so I have Aaron Robinson over him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's an interesting pick. All right, I can see that because they definitely did lose a Dory and they lost Malcolm Butler.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good. I like that pick. All right, I got the Colts.
You got the Colts. The Colts needs are
Not much.
edge tackle, wide receiver,
Come on.
tight end, and cornerback. In the
Come on.
first round, they got a tackle in Tevin Jenkins.
Okay, Jason always off the board now.
Okay.
Give him the edge. He's sitting on the board. He's crying in the back room. His agent told him he'd be a top 40 pick. He went 54. He went 54. He's upset.
Why does nobody want me?
Got a chip on his shoulder now. He's gonna come in hot next year. There you go. Jason Owe, you're off the board. I apologize. You see the Penn State flag. I'm a big fan, but sorry about that. All right.
I think this one is pretty clear cut for me. They kind of did the whole running back by committee thing, and then James Conner got hurt, and then he just never came back. And even when he did, he was a shell of himself. And that defense is pretty solid. Like, I really don't think that defense needs any more help. I just throwing it out there. I mean, they did lose Bud Dupree, but that's about it.
They lost the corners too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they lost the corners, but I feel like this is a really deep corner draft.
It's weird because Pittsburgh, like, they're never rebuilding. They're just
they're always retooling.
Yeah, and because they draft well, so whoever they draft tends to sit there and tends to work their way up to a starter.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way. Because of where the Steelers are drafting, it's a situation where you don't necessarily, you know what? This one actually gives me pause. And I'm gonna go and give them Aaron Robinson.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. You're gonna go Javonte Williams, weren't you?
I was, but the way I see it is because with the running back position, because there are so many other positions that aren't as deep, I feel like they can definitely afford to wait around and try and get a guy that no one's thinking about or hope a guy drops. Okay. Or in the situation, they would be able to trade up back into the second round and get a guy that they really like. But I agree with you.
Who we go first round?
Dylan Riddance.
Dylan Riddance. Did you say good riddance? It's how you said good riddance.
No, Dylan Riddance.
I thought he was like, oh, good riddance. Like, dang. All right.
No.
All right. I okay. Well, this makes my job a little easier now for the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
So, Seahawks are up next pick.
Yep.
Russell Wilson has been crying because he needs offensive line help.
Mm-hmm.
He needs protection because if he doesn't have protection, then he might want to. Not saying he wants to leave, but if he did want to leave, he would go to consider offensive line help. So I'm going to get him an offensive line so he stays in Seattle and stops crying. So Liam Eichenberg is sitting here. I'll give them Liam Eichenberg, and hopefully he'll be their franchise left tackle for the next 15 years. There you go. There you go, Russell. I gave you Liam. Hopefully you see this. Hope you're happy.
And finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
You got some first, you got some offensive line help.
Yeah. But I mean, the next pick, finally we see the LA Rams take a pick. Take a pick. You finally see them do something.
Oh, wait, that was the Seahawks' first pick too.
Yeah, It was.
That was Seahawks' first pick. Yeah.
First pick. Oh wow. All right.
They traded for. They made the big trade acquisition this offseason, bringing in the forgotten man, as we like to call him, the Iceman, if you will.
Iceman is
the long lost hero that we have long forgotten about, Mr. Matthew Stafford.
This man has nicknames now.
Listen,
Wow.
bro. And can't
I
nobody be out here
thought
talking
Matt
about he
Ryan
wasn't
was the
cold
Ice
in
Man.
Detroit.
Matty Ice. I thought that was.
Matt Ryan only got Matty Ice because he made it as far as he did because of Kyle Shanahan. Let's keep it 3,000. Everybody know Matt Stafford is cold, bro. He just never ever since Kelvin Joseph retired, he really ain't have a lot of guys around him. It just never really hit for him.
Oh, Matt Stafford or Matt Ryan? Which one are we talking about?
Matt Stafford.
Okay.
All right, so where we going?
Now, he's on the grand stage.
Mm-hmm.
So far, flying high.
Mm-hmm. So we're going Rondale Moore, you're telling me.
You know, I was thinking about it. Definitely was thinking about it. But I mean, I feel like they got so many receivers over there, though, bro. Like they got so many weapons.
Well, I mean,
they do need some linebacker help.
Their needs are linebacker, center, edge, offensive tackle, and a cornerback.
So I'm gonna give them just to fill a need right now. I know it's not a sexy pick, but it's a need.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give him Pete Warner out of Ohio State, linebacker.
Wow.
Put some highlights. Pete Warner.
Wow. Over Nick Bolton? That was surprising.
I mean,
I
feel like Pete Warner just he gives you a little bit of everything. Like he's that Swiss Army knife. He's a jack of all trades. So like if you need him to rush a little bit, he can rush a little bit. You need him to cover a little bit, he can cover a little bit. If you need him to sit and just cover his own, he's good. He's good for you.
So you're saying he's like James Laurinaitis again?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm not making a comparison, but I'm talking about in terms of the role that you need a guy to play. He comes in and he fills that role, and he's from a bigger program, so that the LA Lights aren't going to scare him. He's going to come in and do his job.
Okay, I dig it. All right. Oh yeah, 50. We got the Ravens.
58 with the Ravens.
58.
Ravens. They need
in the first round.
Edge, wide receiver, tackle, and safety. In the first round, they drafted Greg Rousseau from Miami. So there goes their edge. They filled that need.
You said edge, whatever?
Yeah. Edge got filled in already. So you got wide receiver.
They got Mr. Rousseau.
Receiver, you said receiver, tackle, and safety?
Yeah.
Receiver, tackle, and safety. You know, somebody that a lot of people love that's flying up boards in these last couple of weeks, that I think would really fit the Ravens system. He can cover, he's a ball hawk, but he can also come down and hit you and take your head off. I'm going to give them safety Javon Holland out of Oregon.
Dun,
A lot of people, I like it. I've seen a lot of people like really like that kid's flying up draft boards from what I've seen the past couple of days and weeks. And like the kid again, he's a ball hawk. He can go play center field, but like Earl Thomas, the kid can also come down and hit you at the line of scrimmage. So he can do a little bit of everything. I think he fits that nastiness the Ravens love. So,
all right. So
the Browns. Where'd the Browns go first round?
The Browns got the linebacker.
Jeremiah
linebacker from Notre Dame.
JOK. Jeremiah Owusu Karamau. All right.
There we go. I ain't want to mess with his name.
Linebacker, wide receiver.
You were going to say it.
You said edge linebacker, which they filled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, edge linebacker, wide receiver, and defensive tackle, and they filled in their linebacker already. So
I'm gonna give them another guy that's pretty dirty. That's definitely gonna help next to Myles Garrett. I'm gonna give him Boogie Basham.
Remember they just got Clowney. Remember they just signed
They
Clowney.
did, and that's another guy. You give him
Okay.
Boogie. Because you know Boogie's gonna get in there, and Boogie can actually get you sack numbers. I know
Who's
Clowney's
this?
up there, but Boogie can actually. Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake Forest.
Wow. On top of everybody else, huh?
Mm-hmm.
On top of Miles.
Look at the division that they're in, though. They're gonna need guys that are gonna go out there and get them.
You're right.
Especially going against. It's basically a two-man show right now with the Ravens. I mean, and then the Steelers are gonna come back, and you know the one way to stop the Steelers is to attack the statue,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big man. So you're gonna need multiple guys to try to get to him, and they got that big man in the middle. So I mean, he needs some help.
Very true. All right, where we at now?
You got the Saints.
The Saints took Greg Newsome first round and got our corner. So what are my needs?
Wide receiver, linebacker, defensive tackle, and safety.
It's tough.
Wide receiver.
You could definitely give him another burner here.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at Rondale Moore. I'm looking at him. I'm trying to think of who.
But and then again, you got to look at it too. Like we still don't know who's going to be the quarterback next season.
I know. I don't know. We have Jameson, Taysom when we're splitting time. The Saints always seem to find these receivers like out of nowhere. Like, I mean, you got Michael Thomas again, but then they got like Traquan Smith, and they always find somebody. And again, the receiver class to me, like, it is good. Honestly, I'm considering Nick Bolton and Jay Tufele only because I feel a big part of their defense was taken away when they lost Sheldon Rankins.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Tufele is the second best defensive tackle in the draft behind Christian Barmore.
Mm-hmm.
I know Bolton would fit in nicely next to Demario Davis though. But and the thing is, I'm also thinking edge only because they lost Trey Hendrickson. So they need somebody across from Cam Jordan. So I really can't miss on the pick.
No.
So honestly, I think honestly here, I think I'm gonna go Ronnie Perkins actually. I'm gonna give him an edge across from Cam Jordan. So I know they're gonna rebuild on that defensive line. That's gonna be a big thing for them. Their defense took some hits last year. So
you said Ronnie Perkins, right?
Yeah, Ronnie Perkins.
All right, Jay, you got the Bills.
I mean, love so much.
Edge, corner, defensive tackle, tight end, safety. First round, they took Najee Harris.
They took Najee. It was there.
Mm-hmm.
God, this one is really tough. Because I personally don't feel like there's not a lot of guys here that can that really
fit what they
can
need.
help. Like they don't feel they don't feel the need, but also like there's just guys that are here that just they don't help them right now.
I mean, rotational help.
Yeah, I mean rotational help, sure. But I mean to go and take that in the what is this, the second round?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
What about the defensive tackles? Was that Joe?
You just took Boogie Basham. He's not starting.
That's true, but you waited till I hit the button to tell me that to remind me that they just took Clowney. So I mean, there was no takebacks at that point. I think they're pretty solid at running back right now, so they really don't need another one. I'm not sure I can't really recall how their defensive tackle, like outside of Ed Oliver, like I don't really remember.
I mean, if you go back
to their defensive tackles too much.
I mean, if you go back to the Browns pick, I mean, who else would you have gone with besides Boogie Basham?
I probably would have gone with one of the D tackles just to try and bolster that interior line.
Okay, now because there are 3 right now that are available.
I know. That's what I'm looking at I don't remember outside of Ed Oliver. I know that defensive line was good. I don't have the stats in front of me right now to really tell you like how good, who did what, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But they do have a second need at corner.
Okay.
And they do have a need at edge. So I'm gonna get a guy that I've heard a lot about in terms of a guy that can drop back into coverage, a guy that can go and get after the passer, a guy that no one's talking about. But I'm gonna go Joe Triton here.
Okay, Joe Tryon. Okay.
Tryon, there we go. I don't know why I saw Triton. I'm bugging.
Joe Tryon from Washington University.
Okay.
Only because because he is such a versatile kind of edge where you can kind of move him around a little bit. I think he fits in well with what the Bills want to do, which is have a fast yet versatile defense in general. So I think he kind of fits what the Bills are trying to do at this point.
Okay.
Joe, you got the Packers next at 62.
All right.
In the first round, you got him the wide receiver, Terrence Marshall. Yeah. What else are their needs? Cornerback, tackle, offensive tackle, linebacker, and defensive tackle.
I'm not even gonna think about this one. I'm gonna give him Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton because I was thinking about Jay Tufele, but I think Nick Bolton is sitting here. I think this is a big steal at the end of the second round. Somebody that can come in and command the defense, take over for where Blake Martinez was in the middle. The guy can play sideline to sideline. He can cover. He can come downfield. He can get sacks. He's a sure tackler. The kid's I really like that kid. So I think that's a big steal for them getting him at the end of the second round. So I'm going to go.
You seem very high on him.
Yeah, right?
I like him. I really do. I watched a lot of them. I do.
All right, Jay.
So I have the Kansas City Chiefs. They pretty much fortified that offensive line within the offseason, and then I believe we gave them Samuel Kuzmi. So I feel pretty comfortable about that offensive line. They've got it locked down on the edge though too. Like they've got a serious defensive line. So I feel like this pick really, in reality, I feel like they're going to trade out of this pick. Like this pick is a luxury pick for them. And we know how much they love speed.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna give them Rondell Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue, to go along with so many of those speed receivers and just give them even more speed. Might as well. Like you really can never have enough speed.
That's disgusting. All right. And I have the Super Bowl champion Bucks. All right. Let's see. We'll do first round, Paul.
Going back to take a look. See what we got here.
First round, we went safety, Trevon Moring. Let's see. So what are my needs?
For the Bucks?
Yeah.
Take some snapshots. Take some snapshots here. running back, tackle, defensive tackle, edge, cornerback, and offensive guard. And they picked up a safety.
You said running back, tackle, defensive tackle.
They just brought back Leonard Fournette. What they need a running back for?
Running back. This as of March 26th. So
Yeah.
I know they definitely did re-sign Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
And they got Gio Bernard.
Yeah. So they don't need a running back per se because of that. So defensive tackle, edge, cornerback, offensive guard.
Well, they got the pick of the litter when it comes to defensive tackle. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they signed back. I think they signed somebody back. Maybe they just signed back Nunez, Roach, or they signed McClendon, I believe. They just signed him today. But I mean, between him and Ndamukong Suh, their guys are old. So I'm gonna give him J2 Fele. Give him a D tackle. Again, second best D tackle in the draft. I'm gonna take him off the board.
Makes sense, man.
Yeah, he steps in and is a space eater. All right. And that is the end of our second round.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a short break. Guys, thanks for watching the second round of the draft. We are going to do a third round of the draft after a quick break, but we'll be a separate video for you guys, so you guys can check out the first round, this round, and check out the third round. We're going to keep going, and we'll let you know who's on the board at the end of the third round. Maybe we'll throw in a fourth, or whatever. But thanks for watching, guys. Again, like, subscribe, comment, share the video.
Feel free to curse us out. We love it.
We don't really care. We love to see it. It's fun because everybody's gonna be wrong come draft night anyway. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check out that third video. So thank you.
Peace.